Take a load off and grab a seat. Pull up a chair, prop up your feet. That's fine by me. Fine by me. Yeah. It's podcast time.
There we go. That's good enough. We're making it work.
You think you got her there, Wes?
Making it work.
Out in the field.
Out in the field.
Out in the field.
Out in the field. Out
Field
here.
reporting.
Hart County Fair. Me and Nick did this once before. This is Nick's mic that he farts into. I know it is.
Can you taste it? Can you taste my sphincter? You're going to have pink eye at the end of this.
Well, we're out here at the Hart County Fair. Nick's about to be a rodeo clown.
Camera's twitching. That's fun. Yeah. So Melissa signed.
Like I said, we're making it work, all right?
Yeah.
Everybody relax.
Melissa signed
This
me
is
up
a
to be a rodeo clown with
Okay.
one of her friends at work. And we get about, 10 minutes away, and they said, oh, the announcer has appendicitis. Wes, do you have anybody that could fill in for the announcer? And Melissa was like, well, his podcast partner's here. So she volunteered Wes to announce the whole rodeo. How long's it been since you've been to a rodeo, Wesley?
20 years.
Perfect.
I've gotten a quick rundown of what goes on at a rodeo.
The run of show, if you will. Yeah.
Got a quick rundown of what happens at one. I have actually. I was telling her, your gal's friend,
Talana.
that Talana. I was telling her.
I just said her name. How did you fuck it up? I said Talana and you said Talana. Immediately.
I have announced a tractor pull for.
Okay. I've announced 2 demolition derbies and 4 womenless beauty pageants. Look at that beautiful babe right there behind us.
Oh, we'll be talking to her in a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna have a few special guest appearances today at the Hart County Rodeo.
So this should be very interesting. To say the
I've got a rider's vest on so I don't get gored.
Yeah, I shot him a minute ago with the pistol, and it's fine.
Boy, if a bull comes running at me, I'm gonna point my butthole at him. Like,
There's everything fried that you can ever imagine at this place.
yes, there's so many food trucks. I
And-
mean, this is old school county fair. Like
I fucking love it.
rides, spinning shit, bunch of illegal immigrants working these rides. That was one thing I noticed. ICE
Yeah.
would have a field day over here.
There's a guy out here. I don't know what he's doing with this hose situation.
He's gonna wet down the track so it's not real dusty.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. See, that's how little I know.
yeah. He's got a big fire hose out here. Yeah, he's gonna keep the dust down a little bit.
Nick rode a bull earlier that I got some footage of.
It was
and
so slick.
He was not good at it. If I'm going to be honest, he wasn't good at it.
No, the saddle was slick. The saddle was plastic. Golly, slipped off that thing. I don't think Aunt Jemima and her thunder thighs could have held on to that son of a bitch. Sticky, covered in syrup. Jeez, she wouldn't have stand a chance.
Assumed that Aunt Jemima had thunder thighs or
Aunt
not.
Jemima had thunder
A
thighs,
guy
brother.
just walked past us that had a buck knife on his belt loop.
Yeah, I looked the other day. I was walking around the woods working, and I had 3 knives on me: a machete, a pocket
Well,
knife, and a box cutter.
I spent.
And that's why I'm a rodeo clown, ladies and gentlemen. I think my name is going to be Lemonade.
Okay. Oh yeah. because
My
your
rodeo
buddies-
clown. Yeah.
Your buddies
And
used to
then
call you Lemonade.
when I say that, you could say something like along the lines of, "Why is your name Lemonade?" And I'm like, "Well, I used to work at a horse farm, and I had this song stuck in my head for a long time, and the Hispanics just started calling me Lemonade." And then you could be like, "What was the song?" And I'm gonna say, "Milk, milk, lemonade. Round the corner, fudge is made." We'll see if that gets any giggles out of these people.
The Hispanics.
The Hispanics started calling. Yeah, I sang that song for a week, and the Hispanics were like, "Nicky, Nicky, lemonade," and then it just turned into limonada.
Like that shirt, buddy.
Yes, sir.
You had
There's
a
some
pink
country
Columbia
kids
on.
here.
That was fucking
I
cool.
mean, it really makes you look forward to the future of this country. These country-ass motherfuckers.
Whenever
Golly.
I don't know what the hell the camera's doing, but it's doing something. And
It's trying to focus on my big red nose. Let's see if we can get some of this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What do you, and y'all can vote on my face paint if you want to. I swear my forehead was painted white. It's gone.
I know.
It's got to be on the inside of my hat.
You.
Hat ain't that bad. Josh, his leg was rubbing a spot on his nub raw. So he said if he came to the fair, it would rub a raw spot, and he wouldn't be able to work. He wouldn't be able to walk for a week.
We don't know what the hell's going on with this.
He wouldn't be able to walk for a week if he rubbed a spot raw on his nub. So he chose not to come, and I don't blame him because I hate walking around with a raw nub.
Tutley, who knows what that fool's doing?
He thought the rodeo was last night, so he didn't even call to check on me this morning. I said, well, it's rodeo day. He said, oh, man, I thought it was yesterday. I said, and you didn't call to check on me? You thought I already did it? So you're definitely not coming tonight then, huh?
Tutley, you son of a...
Yeah. Hurt my feelings. He's got me and Melissa chaperoning a college church trip.
Okay.
And done gave away all the beds, said Melissa has to sleep on the couch. I said, golly, my wife, my beautiful wife, you're making her... No. She can...
We got Haley Welch out here. Haley. Quick.
Oh, yes. This is Telena's daughter.
Haley, what's it like being on the Talk To a podcast every week?
Scary.
Well, thank you for having us at this rodeo. Y'all do this all the time at y'all's house?
Yeah, pretty much. Once a month.
Yeah.
Here at the Heart.
I love it. We're having a blast.
Yeah, this is big time.
Yeah. Fine by Me podcast.
Y'all should come out next time.
Yeah, come out to
Come
Hart
on out
County.
next time. What are y'all doing at home? Golly.
Thanks, Haley. We're T-minus how many minutes? T-minus 30
37.
Minutes. 37?
37.
37
We
minutes.
probably want to start maybe some of the announcements in the national. You think we just start that at 7?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Or they want to see a bull in the ring at 7 o'clock.
I got signed up to do this about 30 minutes ago, so I ain't got a clue what's going on.
Yeah.
They told me some names, and I am...
You got some sponsors you're supposed to read out?
No.
No.
No sponsors that I'm aware of, at least.
The Fine by Me podcast.
We're not. We've spent no money on this.
I spent a bunch of money. I've got so
also,
many trinkets to hand out to kids. I've spent like $70 on this thing.
We're also not getting paid anything to do this.
No, I'm out 70 and 5 for the mechanical bull earlier. We got free parking
they
though.
charge you for that?
Yeah, and they should have too. Did you see how poorly I did?
Well, that's true.
They might have should have charged me again once I got off.
This is, I don't even know.
YouTube's gonna flag the shit out of this video. There's so much background music.
That's true. I didn't know. I don't even know what my life is at this point that I am on the way to a freaking rodeo.
Welcome to Friendship with Nick Cook.
They asked me to announce it. I'm about to Ed McMahon this thing.
You are. Is there going to be like some side stories and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some
they
affairs?
They ain't ready. They shouldn't have asked me.
From the top rope! I'd love to come down off a crane like Sting.
Ooh.
Yeah. Who was that? It wasn't Chris Benoit that broke his neck. He's the one that murdered his family.
Yeah. No, I know you're thinking of. I can't think of who it is.
Tito Ortiz.
No, it wasn't him either, but
Chipper Jones.
we are, well, maybe someday. Aaron Hernandez.
Praying for you, Chipper. Praying for you, Chipper.
We are, I think we're going to end this little segment here.
You're getting a notification.
I was getting, Cincinnati Reds are playing somebody right now. It's,
we got shit to do.
I think, yeah, we're going to get this started and I'll have some footage
Can we
between.
flip this camera right now as we're looking?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this thing, man.
I don't know if the gimbal is
figure it
actually
out.
working. I wish you would. I love you guys. We're going to do a couple small segments kind of like this.
Yeah.
There is an announcer coming. He's going to be late. So Wes is going to start the
This
rodeo.
announcer has appendicitis. Like
He got released for
like
he's a gosh darn cowboy, Wes. He's a gosh darn cowboy.
Well, we're gonna do this. There's gonna be some footage in between. now and of Nick being a clown, and then
I asked
we'll
Melissa earlier. I said, "Did you ever imagine you'd be married to a literal clown?" Here we are.
But so yeah, there's gonna be some footage of Nick doing the clown stuff. Maybe some me announcing. Who knows? And then
Yeah,
I
take a
don't know how that
selfie.
audio is gonna work out. But
Take a
we'll,
selfie at the rodeo, Wes.
What's that?
Take a selfie at the rodeo.
Take a selfie.
Take a
We
selfie at the
already
rodeo.
took a selfie.
Take a selfie at the rodeo,
Okay,
Wes.
we'll take another one.
Calm down.
Everybody relax.
Everybody out there, take a selfie at the rodeo.
And then me and Melissa are going to be on for a little bit
And
after
then we're gonna have a young bull rider on as well.
Yeah, Kellen.
I think it's Kellen. Yeah.
Kellen.
Yeah.
Kellen.
Supposedly
We'll have
this
Kellen
kid's
on.
full of charisma. He's liable to be just a instant hit with the goon squad.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
He's got a broken arm and a cast right now, still riding tonight.
Hope to God that I figure out how this gimbal works before.
I don't know where Tutley's GoPro went. I guess I left it at the house. I was gonna strap it to my chest and go out there, but I just had to take your phone out there.
All right, that's fine. Love you guys.
We'll see you back
hashtag
shortly.
Fine by me, etc.
Fine by
Love
me.
you,
That was the longest it took me to say fine by me.
You rocking? Hello, gentlemen.
Milk, lemonade around the corner. Fudge is made. How we doing,
Welcome
fellas?
to the Hart County Fair.
Boy, I hate that I missed that. I appreciate the shout out. And my nub is in dire shape. I don't want to
Yeah.
gross everybody out and get kicked off YouTube to show it to you, but
Well, it's funny. Me and Nick were talking on the way home, like where we had to go back and forth between like the announcer state, like where I was sitting, and just for equipment purposes, we had to go back between the announcers thing whenever I was announcing, and I'll get into that in a minute. But and then between where we actually had like the podcast set up, and we were like going over this freaking wall, this like concrete like barrier
like a
thing.
retention wall kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
It was like we were having to jump over this thing, and me and him on the way home, we're like, can you imagine us picking Josh up and throw
Can
him
you
over?
imagine Josh's attitude out here in this heat, having to deal with his shit leg already hurting? Yeah, dude. You ought to be like,
Oh,
hey,
it would
you'd
have
be like, just
not.
go to the truck, Josh. Just go to the truck. You're in timeout. It would have
Well,
been
we
ridiculous.
already said if Josh would have been here, he would have gotten up those 3 stairs to get into the announcer's booth and said, "I'm staying up here all night."
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't have moved the hell. You know me, dude. I wouldn't have moved all night. I'm just glad Nick survived, dude. Whenever y'all did start, I started seeing reports coming in the group text, and I said, "Oh, he made it. He made it through. He made it through."
Yeah, Wes was the face of the fair for a little bit. I think technically we are considered carny folk now.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, we are carnies, and any diminishing terms towards carnival workers, we are going to take personally from
Very
here on.
Oh, like freak show?
Careful, buddy.
Relax. That's a slur where we come
Relax.
from.
Yeah,
Calm down. Calm
Yeah.
down.
but I think we might have mentioned it in the video that we already showed. But
Yeah.
there
Oh
was a
yeah, I forgot
significant.
even that me and Nick recorded a little bit that y'all already got to see. So congratulations.
There was
Cold
a
open. It's a
significant.
cold open.
If
There
y'all,
was a significant amount of Hispanic employees at that fair, so it makes me question their loyalty to America. Of course,
Really?
oh, we could
No.
have called ICE and
No.
people would have scattered.
Yeah.
Not really.
yeah, they would have had a field day in that
La
place.
migra, la migra.
But yeah, we got. I'm not really expecting anybody listening to know what this is, but to Hart County and where their fairgrounds is. But we got to Kentucky Down Under, which is not far from the
Down
Hart County.
under.
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes away, and one of the lady that runs the rodeo called Melissa and said, "Hey, my husband, who is the normal announcer, has appendicitis. He's in the emergency room right now.
Jeez.
So would Wes be willing to announce the rodeo?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was a little lit up at the time, so I was like, "Absolutely, let's do this. This is going to be fun as hell."
I'm your man.
Yeah,
I come up
Josh,
here
I
just for
accidentally
this.
Josh, I accidentally relapsed last night because me and Wes had the same Dubby cup, the red Dubby cup.
Oh, he took
And it
a
was just
swig.
full of vodka, and I was like, "Oh, here
Jeez.
we go.
Oh, that don't count then. That
I'm
don't
gonna
count.
lose everything 6 months down the road."
Yeah, this is it. This is my
Yeah,
defining moment.
yeah. It
Yeah.
actually wasn't her husband. They just happened to both be named Tyler. But
So yeah, that confused me all night, to be honest.
yeah, yeah,
There were
there was a
two
bunch of
Tylers that were kind
Tylers.
of running the gig, and I
Yeah,
was like, I don't know who's who
So
here.
what? So what? So there were two Tylers. One Tyler had appendicitis.
Yeah.
yeah.
One
He
Tyler
was
was
the
running
one
it.
with the appendicitis was the dude that was announcing that is not related to Talana,
Helena.
Talana.
She was the one in charge of getting you doing the announcing, in charge
Yeah,
of all this.
and
Yeah.
she's a nurse on the life evac helicopter.
Oh, so this is how all this
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
the
this is how
previous
all
video.
the puzzle
Yeah,
yeah,
pieces came together for
I
this.
got you. I got you. I
yeah.
was curious of how this happened because I think you had told us, but this has been 3 months in germination. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
The
for me to find
German
out
nation.
10 minutes prior to us getting there that I was going to be on a mic talking to
Yeah.
all of Hart County. Yeah, so
You
I'm sure
mean
all of Hart County was
that's
probably
all the
there.
Hart County behind you right there in them
Yeah.
stands.
can I do my impression of Wes announcing the rodeo?
Let's hear
Yeah.
Hey, Hart County Fair.
it.
Who's
Yeah.
ready to have a good
They said,
time?
"Who's the radio guy doing
Yeah.
the announcing?"
Is that Howard Stern?
Right.
Yeah.
Is this the OP and Anthony show?
I did get some compliments throughout the night. They were like, "Have you ever done this before?" I was like, "No, I don't. I don't even know what bull riding is, really."
This dude's been riding a pink cloud ever since last night. Somebody told him that, and he said, "Oh, I'm like, what's his name? Michael Buffer.
I think he
Let's
might.
get
I
ready
think
to rumble."
Wes might have asked Helena what a bull actually was.
He was nervous, tore up.
I was. I mean, that was like 10 minutes prior to us getting there that I learned I
That's
was going to
actually
have to do
see,
this.
yeah. See, I freak out if I know about it 2 months ahead of time. If I've been Nick and I've been waiting on this for 3 months, I'd have had two nervous breakdowns, all sorts of stuff. Waiting on
Buddy, I've
right
been
when
waiting on this moment for 25 years.
you've been getting ready your whole life
Yeah.
preparing for this.
Well,
Yeah.
we did say on the way after I got the invite for it, I was like, I'm glad that I didn't know about this 2 weeks ago because I
Yeah.
would have been all I would have done. Well, may have actually been better because all I would have done for the last 2 weeks is watch PBR videos and figure out how
Right.
what their announcers sound like and whatnot.
I
Yeah.
watched 8 seconds the other day just for the sad part to prepare myself, just in case things went south.
Dude,
I wanted to be ready.
it's funny. The two movies that I remember seeing, like our teachers letting us watch the most in school, like whenever I guess they just didn't feel like teaching,
Yeah.
also Scottsville, Kentucky. But the English teacher I had, she would always play 8 seconds. And the
That's odd.
math teacher was like the basketball coach, Coach Willett. He ended up going to Glasgow, I think, but he would always play Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I know that movie front to back because I watched it in his class 55 times probably.
Those are just the DVDs that the teacher before them left.
Left, yeah.
Probably.
Nobody's picking those movies.
We got Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Right.
We can play this.
Bueller. Bueller.
Bueller.
I never cared for that movie too much.
We always just we were like, why are we watching this in math class? I feel like we could watch like Rain Man or something a little bit linky.
There's a theory.
Rounders.
There's a theory that Ferris Bueller is having a Groundhog Day situation, and that's why the day works out perfectly for him, is because he's relived that day hundreds of times.
He already knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I never heard that. I bet that's cool.
The only thing that went wrong that day was the car.
Right. That's a big deal.
So, I mean, halfway through the movie Groundhog Day, he doesn't have it all figured out yet. So Ferris is still figuring this day out. And that's why the car got destroyed.
Yeah,
But
I think that's the only thing that really went wrong, and it didn't really go wrong in Ferris's favor. Was it Sam or whatever that guy?
Sam?
Yeah.
I don't remember what his buddy's name was, but he was the only one that really affected. And
they tried to roll the
mileage
back.
Yeah, they put it on jacks and
kicked off the jack stand and took off.
Well, they put it on jacks so that they could put it in reverse.
Right.
He got mad and started kicking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He started freaking out. He had a moment of teen angst.
Went through that glass pane behind it and went into the woods.
A
And
beautiful
Yeah,
garage. Can
he
we
had
talk
what
about
they
that?
call a teary-eyed scream, and there went the car.
oh, we
Y'all
don't.
ever throw a fit like that? Like whenever you were like a teenager, like like in
Oh,
high school or anything?
I'm sure.
I don't remember. I remember one time like that sticks out. I couldn't like it was like late on a Friday night, and I had no business being out anyway. But my mom was like, "No, you don't need to go out tonight." And my buddies went out, and they ended up like shooting up like a bunch of stuff with paintball guns and getting in a bunch of trouble. And I was like, "Man, thank God!" I remember being so mad I couldn't go. Like I was like teary-eyed, scream kicking. It's like, "Oh man, it's bullshit.
I
Can't believe we didn't get to go."
I've told the story before about mom getting wind of us having a show to play in Nashville one time, and her being like, "No, you can't go to Nashville." And I was like, we'd already played Nashville multiple times at this point, so I was like, kind of having a little crash out. I wasn't home. I was at school, and then I found another place to go play, and I didn't go to Nashville, which is what she told me not to do. I went somewhere probably more dangerous, but um. The only other time I can think of is I planned this whole big
Memphis.
festival. No, it was, well, I don't remember, somewhere in Kentucky, but it was backwoods.
Mm.
Um, the only other one I can think of off the top of my head is I planned this whole like all day festival in like I think it was just outside of Scottsville at an old school. And I passed by it whenever I come up to come up to Nick's place, but it snowed real bad that day. And they
Yeah.
told me I couldn't drive out there because I had like a 95 Dodge Avenger at the time.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but I ended up talking to my buddy Mac into coming and picking me up, and they were like, "All right, if Mac's going to drive you in his truck, that's fine."
We know Mac.
Oh yeah, Mac McKenzie, he saved the day once again, actually.
Once
Is that the
again,
dancer?
Mac McKenzie. I bet he can rodeo clown better than I can too.
Dude,
Got them quick feet.
y'all are the same person almost.
We could tango. We could get out there and waltz. Just two rodeo clowns in love.
He would love, I bet if I called him tomorrow and you found another rodeo clown gig, he would come up from, he lives in Savannah, last I knew, so Savannah, Georgia. So I bet he would drive up here just to do it because he'd have the same outlook. He was like, I've been waiting 36 years to do this.
Yeah,
So,
man. Melissa is at work with Talena today. She said there's one on Grayson County, July 12th, that I could go do if I wanted to, and there's one back at Hart County on August 9th that I could
Professional
go do.
rodeo clown. Now you're a professional. You can say you're professional.
hey, you got paid to do it.
Yeah, you're professional.
I think I might have. I think I might be in the red $20 because I handed out a bunch of little trinkets and stuff from Dollar General and Five Below, like glow in the dark bracelets and little toy cars and inflatable baseball bats. It's always good to give kids free stuff. That's how you make friends out here in the
That's
real world.
true.
Yeah.
You got to have something to offer.
What do
You
you,
could run
what,
for office one day in Hart County. Remember that day 20 years ago when I gave you candy at that fair? Well, I'm
Yeah, behind the
a
bleachers.
county judge executive now. My name's Nick Cook. I was the guy that hands you behind the bleachers.
Yeah,
Remember that guy? This is me.
yeah.
By then you
uh,
have some big lamb chop sideburns or something.
what,
Man.
was there anything about it that you weren't expecting, Nick?
Um, no, I didn't get caught off guard by anything really, but I don't know if you saw me. I did get in there and got my hands on a couple bulls. I don't know if you saw that or
Yeah,
not.
oh, I was watching.
I tried to pin one against the pins because there was a little cowboy had his arm stuck in the rope, and
Yeah.
I tried to pin that bull against the fence. And at one point, I accidentally cut off one of the actual bullfighters that was protecting the riders. And he came up to me after that bull left the arena, and he was like, "Hey, man!" And I said, "Oh, stay out your way." I said, "I just had to touch it." I said, "I'll be behind you from now on, brother. Don't worry."
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like, geez, this guy's a liability.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
getting a little
I was in the
too
booth
comfortable
calling.
in here.
I was in the booth calling bull riders, bullfighters. I didn't even know there was a difference until
Yeah.
like
Big
10 minutes
difference.
in.
El Toro Loco. That's Crazy
Dude,
bull.
all of the bulls had like rapper names. Well, I remember Petey Pablo.
That's pretty sick.
The Vanilla Gorilla.
Yeah. Ah,
That's
there
William
was
Montgomery, ain't
another
it?
really good one I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I was like, man, but as soon as they said it, I was like, golly, all of these have
Yeah.
like rapper names. Like, what's that say? What
I had
undertones
a
is
nice
saying?
moment with a bull named Romeo. Uh, just whispering sweet nothings to him. He had the kindest eyes you ever seen, and his
Kind.
horns were out to here. He had a huge set on him, big old rack.
I
Dude,
saw you wearing that like vest. Would that like protect you if something did like
There was
happen?
a
hell,
cowboy that got stomped on with both hooves on his chest, and I mean, if he wouldn't have been wearing that vest, I mean, who knows? But he took that vest off, and he had just the perfect hoof print right here on
Oh,
his
dude.
heart, dude,
Yeah, I
on
guess
his
they
heart.
step on you. Is it probably more dangerous? Probably more chance of them stepping on you than you getting
Well,
like gored or
plus
whatever.
their back end is coming from way down here and stepping and pushing.
yeah.
Oh,
You
dude,
know?
yeah, brutal. Yeah, them guys got to be just in bad shape, like a motocross rider or something, you know?
Yeah, I saw an 11-year-old take a big stomp to one of his legs, and boy, he had to get carried out of there. I mean, he limped out, but he wasn't he wasn't doing much of the work. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna
Oh,
say there was one where it was just I wish I would have been on the mic at this point because it was like 2 minutes after I like stepped off and the guy got there and they started calling for a medic and it took the medic way too long to get there.
Yeah, it's like they weren't ready.
Because I was sitting next to Melissa and she was like, "Do I need to go out there?" She was like, "I could have already been out there rendering aid, and they've
Yeah.
called for a medic 3 times."
right, yeah. This could be life-changing seconds here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what is going on? I was like, well, I think one's on the way now. I think they're finally coming.
I injured my shoulder during the dizzy bat race.
Yeah, yeah, that looked
The most
just as
dangerous part of the
dangerous.
whole night
That
Yeah.
looked just as dangerous, to be honest.
I
on the
tackled a
uneven
pile
ground.
of chairs. I tackled a pile of metal chairs, shoulder first.
Oh, and then tell about the kids. You had like all the kids you needed out there, and then like 10 more came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, and I was like, "What is happening? What's this freelance volunteer work?" Like I had my little what they call that kid, that YouTuber, that chunky kid,
The
the
Rizzler.
Rizzler.
The Rizzler,
Yeah,
yeah. The
I had my
Costco
little
kid.
Rizzler. His name was Oliver, and his buddy
Overalls?
Grady, and then there was another kid named Overalls, and a kid named Noah. And I was like, "Y'all four, I need y'all to come out if y'all wanna like participate and get out here." I called them out, and then like these two retarded bitches and like a bunch of other kids came out there, and I was like, "What's happening? Like, we ain't got enough chairs for all this."
I was
So
gonna
we're
say
like, "All right,
I was on the sidelines being like, anybody got any chairs? I threw my $100 rocking chair thing out there. I was like,
They wouldn't have got mine if I was there.
yeah." And so we had a dance competition, and then I just picked the four boys that I already had picked. I picked them to win the dance competition, and we did
G's
a
up.
dizzy bat musical chairs, and they were scrapping out there for them chairs, buddy.
I bet.
They
Oh
didn't
yeah,
know all they had to win was an inflatable bat. I was like, "You just keep that bat. There's your prize."
They was fighting to the death out there.
Yeah,
Cage match.
yeah, yeah,
it was
That's
big
big
time fun.
entertainment up there in Munfordville.
yeah.
Hell, is that what that town's called? I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
Well, there's Horse Cave that's in Hart County, and Munfordville, I think,
Okay.
is the county seat.
Yeah.
The big city in Hart County. You know, we don't even have a county fair here anymore. We didn't have one. When's the last time we had one, Nick? When do you think it was?
Man,
It's
let's
been a
say
minute.
like 2007,
Yeah, I mean, I was.
2008.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
it's been a
really?
while. Yeah, we used to have a good fair too.
I was gonna say
I
I think they
guess. I
still
mean,
have
that's the
one in Scottsville. Pretty sure they do.
Yeah, we don't have nothing like that. We used to have tractor pools and like truck pools out
I was
there
gonna say
every
I
once
think
in a
that's the
while.
main thing that the fair is for there is for like all the tractor pulls and stuff.
well. I tell you what. TS Performance spent like 15 grand redoing the track
Yeah,
for the truck pulls and
this was
tractor
a few
pulls.
years ago, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, and the park wouldn't let anyone else use that track because
They paid for it.
yeah. So that cut out like the motocross racing. That cut out
Demolition Derby.
Yeah, because they spent 15 grand on the dirt work. So
That's not even a lot of dirt work, is it?
no.
15 grand ain't even what, just pushing pretty much a couple days around.
I mean, Ty could get out there with a bulldozer and fix that thing in 4 hours.
Right, for $500.
Yeah.
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 Right. That's what I'm saying. So
I'm
that's not even.
I'm gonna splice in some videos as we go. Like me and Melissa had a good 15 minutes or so, and then like my
We got 36 on my side. 37 on the far side.
He killed it.
72
And
points for that count.
him getting up
3
and
points
just
for Kelly Lasley.
that's awesome. Yeah,
This next
we're
cowboy
recording,
goes
Melissa. Oh God. I don't know if we need to be looking at us or if we need to be looking at the rodeo.
I don't know either. Hello. I'm Nick's wife,
Hey, this is
the infamous Melissa.
Wallen Cook.
Wow, we need to record
Yeah,
that is what we need to record. We're
golly.
turning around for the true
We're gonna figure
entertainment.
this out.
The true entertainment.
Hey, what's up, Nikki? How you doing, buddy? I don't know how to work my own phone apparently. Like, why is this? All right, well, I'll splice that together. Nikki's out here putting on a show for us.
Premier rodeo clown.
We did have the mic or the video on us, but I think this is more entertaining. We've got these little kids out here on these little bulls,
Mini bulls.
mini bulls, busting stuff up.
This is Double T Rodeo is what they're called.
Double what?
Double T Rodeo.
Double T rodeo.
Or is it Double D? Maybe it's Double D.
I think it's double T.
Double T?
I think double T.
I think Double T
Taking the
too.
show to buck and shoot number 3. You just saw this.
I was on the
cowboy
mic a
who's
second
double
ago, and it was
Auburn Cowboy,
probably
Mr.
some of the most
Weston
fun
Drury.
I've had in a while. But I haven't been to a rodeo in 20 years. so I
Wes,
didn't-
Wes got thrown in last minute as the announcer of the rodeo because the announcer had appendicitis, who is now here announcing. He left the hospital.
He's somewhere. We're about to watch another
Here he
8-year-old.
comes.
Outside full right, hang on, Weston Drury.
I can't do it.
Golly, boy.
Tears my nerves up.
Cowboy takes another hard lick.
Helicopter paramedics tore up watching little kids get stomped on by bulls.
Oh, I thought it was a mom thing.
No, it is mom thing too. As long as Nick don't get stomped on, I'll be okay.
That's all I've thought about.
I need to keep him whole. Here he comes.
Nikki!
Look at that handsome
Hey,
fella.
we've got you're the camera's on you right now, buddy. What? What? Oh wow.
Take a breather, baby. Step
Yeah,
back.
just relax. Maybe have another liquid IV.
He wants to be in the middle of everything. Always.
Another liquid IV or something.
I told him earlier today when I got talked into being the co-host on the podcast. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna do fine." I said, "This is not my thing. This is your thing. You can have all the strangers' attention. I just want yours. That's all I care about.
We,
Take them."
we got up there and Melissa, golly, I cannot remember this gal's name. Talena.
Yeah.
I started out this fair situation, and Talena was very happy, and then I was really unhappy whenever they took the mic away from me. If I'm going to be honest.
Oh, you need a new job. You and Nick got a gig now. Rodeo announcer and clown.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's
Y'all could have a good time.
whenever I figure out what bulls are.
We'll just go hang out at Talena's house. It's fine. We'll learn all the things. We'll learn how to care
'Cause
for
I have-
them, ride them.
All I knew was to try to get the crowd hyped, and that was about the only thing I knew how to do.
That's probably only your really job. Talk up the kids,
Yeah.
get the crowd hype.
I just wanted to. I wish I would have known. Melissa has me drunk right now. If y'all don't know.
Oh, that's not my fault. Don't
I
blame
wish
it on me.
I wish I would've-
Oh, get him. Okay, he's okay.
I wish I would have known the backstory better. Because I feel like I could have hyped him up a lot better if I would
The
have known
backstory of what?
the kids,
Oh.
not the bulls.
Yeah, it
I mean,
probably
they're
just.
cows.
I only know 2 of them. I know Keller, who's our little badass, I
is-
must say. He broke his arm last week, and he's killing it.
He's gonna come on and talk to us, hopefully,
Yep,
at some point.
Yeah.
He's like 7,
maybe 7 to 9, so somewhere in that age range.
somewhere in that age range.
But he's been riding bulls for a few years now, and he's been killing it. Daddy's been taking him everywhere, and he wins them all.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna be honest. The little that I've seen of this, he was on there longer than anybody else
Yeah.
with a broken arm,
Yep.
and I thought that was pretty
He's a
freaking
tough.
impressive.
He's a
That's
tough
little
kid.
Freaking bull.
Yeah, they're mini bulls. That's what they raise.
Are they mini on purpose, or are
Yep,
they just
that's what they
children?
raise. They raise mini bulls.
Oh,
Yep, for
This
the
is
kids'
how little I
rodeos.
know about.
I didn't either. I've joined Telena's world, and it's a good time. Look what's happened joining Telena's world.
It
Nick
really
gets to be a
is.
rodeo
We're
clown. You
in
got to announce.
Hart County, Kentucky. I remember playing baseball up here, but that's the only amount that I've ever been in Hart County.
I don't think there's much else that happens. But now we're going to be rodeo people at Hart County.
we've got we passed by it on the way here.
Buc-ee's.
Well, Bucky's, yeah. But I
Amish
was thinking
market?
of
Oh, the Safari Zoo.
Safari, Kentucky Down Under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the kangaroos and the zebras. We saw some emus, goats,
I'm a big fan of the birds.
the birds. I like going to bird cages too. I am one with the birds. Birds and butterflies are my friends.
Oh, we've got last year's senior something.
Ooh, that's a big bull. We got a full bull. Where's my husband?
He's got it.
Oh God, he got it. He's okay. He's
Oh,
okay.
boy.
Ooh, that's a spicy bull.
Will Farmer stepping in there making a
Golly.
sweet save.
Yeah.
They said something about doing a re-ride. Do you know anything about these
I don't know
re-rides?
anything about a re-ride.
Well-
I've not been to many. I've been to like one like professional bull rodeo, and that's it.
I don't know if I would call this professional.
No, this isn't. This is the fair rodeo.
Okay.
It's the Hart County Fair Rodeo. I'm talking like a PBR. Like, you know what it's called? The Federal
Yeah,
Bull
yeah,
Rodeo?
yeah, PBR.
I've been to a PBR event. That was fun.
See her to get your 50-50 tickets. We're gonna draw
Oh, it's a blast. I'm having a big time.
Yeah.
There's a. What is this?
Nick made a mother-in-law joke earlier. He said, that bull's as mean as my mother-in-law is.
If I would have been on the mic, I would have taken up for you, Janet.
Oh,
I
she'll
would've
think
said,
it's funny.
Do not do that to Janet.
Cowboy coming at you out of bucket shoe number 4. Cowboy by the name of
She
Jacob
likes the
Jenkins.
attention. She can be mean too, let me tell you, as her daughter. She is mean.
Fans over there, make some noise, mama.
We need to paint a bullseye on Nick's butt.
Looking for the qualified
Nick needs a bullseye on his butt. A bullseye butt for sure. We don't have Josh. His leg was hurting him. Well, his not leg was hurting him.
Yeah, he has imaginary leg.
The imaginary leg's hurting.
Trying to get Nick over here, but there's a guy in front of
outside
him.
bull ride. Hang on, Jacob Jenkins.
Oh,
He's got it
baby.
started. Set your hips, young man.
Oh boy.
Oh! Get it. Oh,
There's the
God.
buzzer.
I don't like it. It stresses me out.
How about that, Hart County? We're going to look to the judges.
Nick's going to talk about this.
Hang on the first.
Nick's going to talk about this for the next month.
Oh, he's gonna talk about this for the next 10
He's
years.
never going to go to bed tonight.
He what?
He's never going to go to bed tonight. We're going to talk about it all night long. Reliving it.
Hey,
Look at him.
That was the judge on your side. You got my permission to flog him when he gets back over
Shit
there.
ain't
all right?
grin.
Nick,
You gonna talk to us? You gonna
Nick,
talk?
how long are you gonna be talking about this? I told you. I said 10.
I'll help you remember. He got a Bonnaroo bandana on. He said, do we have any bandanas? I said, You need bandanas, sir? I have like 55.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've got some
Pick
big
one.
news. Apparently, the judge on the far side is scared of Mama. They're going to mark him. How about 62 points for that young cowboy right there?
Woo!
Gang, gang.
We got a decent little crowd out here for Hart County Fair.
We do. Hold on, I'll show you fools this. Hold on. Wrong way.
There you go.
Look at all these folks out here at Hart County tonight, huh? There's people behind us too, but I'm not gonna bother them. They're real close.
I had a ribeye sandwich, potato wedges, but we're going back for a funnel cake and a corn dog and some cotton candy. Because that's the fair etiquette. That's what you do.
I haven't gotten anything yet, and I'm ready for it.
That bag of cotton candy is almost as big as me. We'll just like shove it down Nick's shirt or something. It'd be disgusting.
But-
Sticky,
oh,
sweaty
God.
cotton candy.
Yeah.
That's gross.
I was going to say immediately, I was like, that would be so sticky and disgusting.
It'd be funny though. It'd be funny.
I wonder if
The other day, Nick's little girl, we were talking about if he did something wrong, we were going to make him hold his head underwater, and she said, and we're going to count slowly.
All right, Hart County, we got the equipment up and rolling. Who's ready to have a good time?
Yeah. I was talking about Melody telling she was going to count slowly.
Let me hear you.
She said, we're going to count slowly. Yeah, we lost our shit. Woo! I never thought I would marry a rodeo clown.
I never thought I'd be friends with one.
That's not on the agenda. Oh, Nick's getting instruction.
Yeah.
Run your mouth. He's good at that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Nick. There's actually somebody telling Nick to talk more right now,
Yeah.
which is wild. Because I think I've told him to talk less a couple times.
I tell him to talk less multiple times a day.
I heard you had something special planned for the intermission. What you got going on at the intermission here in a little bit?
Oh God.
I got a bunch of stuff to pass out to the kids, mostly trash from my house. But, if they want to take a used toaster oven, I'd love that.
All right, Hart County, who wants the one to use?
I guess we're giving away our imaginary toaster oven.
Like 7 out there. You might actually get rid of that.
We did get some kitty toys to give away. We got some little fun knickknacks. We call them frickin' fracks.
I was gonna say, he's got a pocket full of flags,
got-
I think.
Yeah.
That's right.
Look at his.
Nick's
Nick's
found-
ass is sweating so much.
Hart County, who's ready to participate?
He's a
in the
sweaty
running?
man. He sweats a lot.
I wish I could zoom in enough for y'all to see how wet Nick's ass is.
It's called swamp ass. But there's enough hair in there to absorb all Nick's swamp ass. I don't think he ever feels it. So much trouble.
Oh boy. What's he about to do?
He's talking to his friend Oliver that he's made over there and Grady. Oh, and a girl. Ooh! Closer. Look at this man. Silly. He does have a chest protector vest on.
Wait, did you say cow jitsu?
Cow jitsu!
Did you make that up, or is that a real training?
Nah, I've been training on YouTube all week.
Who teaches that? Chuck Ross Norris?
Nick's found a buddy. They've talked a couple times this week, getting it together. He felt pretty comfortable after talking to him.
My phone started dying, everything was overheating, but I've got this one that I want to just go ahead and throw in here now, and it's of Nick absolutely failing at riding a bull or a mechanical bull.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate
I'm ready
it.
for this.
1, 2, 3. And
Action.
Oh,
Live action.
All
There
right,
he
look.
is.
This saddle is made out of is made out of plastic, okay? There is no chance of holding on to that thing with denim. I'm going to defend myself. Anybody can go find that one particular mechanical bull, and I want to see how you do. You just flip right off of it. I think they put armor
Crisco?
all on the son of a bitch.
Can y'all see this?
I can see a
Yep.
bunch of like graphics data and stuff. GPU clock. I've never even. Are you like a hacker or something?
Oh, this is a screenshot. He don't know what any of that means.
It's just something off of one of those Substacks he's on of nerds.
That's a screenshot from the movie Matrix.
Yeah.
He just puts it up there like he's a coder.
He just put a red tint on it instead of green.
Yeah.
All right, can y'all see this
I'm
now?
not looking forward
We
to
can
this.
see it now. We can see it.
I'm not looking forward.
You want to describe to us what's going on here, Nick, to the listeners?
I'd pay $5 to ride this stupid bull, and then it was. I mean,
You won't get started now.
I don't even know
Pause
what
it and
to
let
tell you
it
that
load.
material was made out of. That was a plastic saddle
It
that
does.
had been polished.
So now that I see it again, I see how slick it is. We literally got out of the truck and Nick saw a mechanical bull and was like, we got to go get on this bull over
They got
here.
some guy there that just hoses that sucker down with Pam every time somebody gets done.
He wipes it down with his mama's lard.
With the olive oil. He's
Yeah.
over there with olive oil, like that old dude in Joe Dirt.
Look, this dude's going half speed right now, Nick. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, that's quick. Wearing your golf shoes.
Yeah.
There's a 12-year-old.
My golf shoes are covered in
They
Calvin.
didn't poke a hole. You didn't say, I got cleats on. I shouldn't step on this inflatable.
No, I didn't say
You
that.
get to hear. I was out here heckling him while he was on there, so that may have a little bit messed him up too. But if you can hear me here in just a second.
You can't penetrate
There's a
this.
12-year-old that did much better than this already.
Oh.
Comedy. Busted his head on that one.
Look, my mind is an impenetrable fortress, okay? You can't freak me on nothing.
Got your stirrups on.
This guy's going to have
Hey,
trouble
you did
fighting
good
real
this
bulls
time.
here in a little bit.
Well, that's cool. I've never rode one of those before.
I have.
That sounds about right.
I've ridden one at a place called the Wild Beaver. It got blown up whenever the AT&T bombing happened.
Oh, yeah.
Phil.
Christmas Day.
Yep.
You got to take that insurance claim and just get out.
Was that was 2020 as well? That ended 2020 on just a fine note.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I thought that was funny, but look, that is the bull that I rode at the Beaver place was not. It was much better caliber than this. I think Nick could have hung on a little bit better.
I think it's funny he got on that inflatable thing with cleats on. That was funny to me. Nobody even started. Hey man, you got cleats on. Don't step on this. You might ruin the whole fucking night with these cleats.
Well, fair's over.
Yeah, fair's over. Y'all just gotta go watch now. You can't ride this. You gotta go watch this guy.
Me and Wes got an 18-inch long corn dog at the end of the fair.
Y'all ate it together like Lady and the Tramp?
I wish.
Oh, so it was 36 inches total because we got two. We got two of them.
Y'all put mustard on one and ketchup on the other and meat in the middle?
Yeah. We finished it. We finished them before we even got back to the truck, you know?
Yeah. I was
bet.
whooped, man. I hadn't ate anything. I had gotten Taco Bell with my dad earlier in the day, and I still just never got hungry until we were finally at the end of the dang rodeo. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, we got to get something in my stomach.
That bag's still on my kitchen table.
No, it's not.
This ain't your first rodeo, was it?
I brought it with
Was this
me.
your first rodeo? Wasn't your first rodeo, was it?
Mine? No.
Was it your first rodeo, Nick?
I mean, I'd been to a bunch. That was the only
Like
reason.
being in a rodeo is what
No.
I'm saying.
Oh,
I've
no.
been
I've never
dreaming of
been
it.
in one. No.
I've been dreaming of it for a long time.
So now you can always say, this ain't my first rodeo.
This ain't my first rodeo.
This ain't my first I'm just a clown in this rodeo.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did get real lucky with this one. I'll hold
Go
on.
ahead, Cletus.
Go ahead. I don't know how to flip a video.
We got home at 11:30, or like laid down in bed at
PM?
11:30. Yeah, I had to wake up. at 5:15. I poured concrete at 7 o'clock this morning.
I bet you are sore today.
Yeah, and then went
Look at
and
that cat.
trimmed a bunch of bushes and landscaping. Oh my God, I'm getting stung. I got stung by a yellow jacket while I was landscaping, and then something just got me here. What the hell? Why don't
It's
you give
probably
me a
a
job, cat?
brown recluse.
I hope.
So what are we looking at here?
This is just a real good. This kid killed it. I don't remember what his name was. I'm sorry, but like
I think it's like Brian Warren or something like that.
he was one of them that rode for the long. Like he was one of the few that made it to the buzzer that night. Because I mean, that was
These ain't the bulls I see on
hell. Look, I
PBR.
mean, I think these
This is
you
this
said
is
these
like the
guys do
junior
the
league.
5 seconds, 6 seconds.
These kids are like 12, 13, 14 years old right
Look at
here.
all the ambulances back there.
Yeah.
Ain't none of them help out. This
I
kid,
know. Had to call for a medic 3 times. What are they over there doing? Eating them long ass corn dogs.
well, this kid, I mean, he wrote. I mean, I think he only had to go 6 seconds, and he lasted 10 or so. What was Nick saying here? Sorry,
Longer than I usually last.
Yeah.
That bull does look pretty feisty though.
Looking for scores coming in for Mr. Baylor Wood.
Baylor Wood. There we go.
Baylor Wood. Yeah, I mean, I got a old horse trainer that used to say horses and cows, they're quicker than cats.
Mm.
They are fast.
It was
Nimble.
fun seeing how, I mean, they're kind of bred out there to buck and not like things riding them, but they know exactly where to go whenever they're done with their show.
Yeah.
Most of them. There was a few that kind of like hemmed and hawed, and y'all had to like actually wrangle them into the gate to get out of there. But that was like one or two of them out of
Do you
the.
think whenever those get done, they get back with the other ones? The other ones like, hey man, profesh. Jeez, dude, you're out there making us look like a bunch of damn
Yeah,
fools.
come
Hold
on.
it together.
They
Profesh,
opened this
dude.
gate, just come back in.
Yeah, just come, put a
Quit
little show
crying.
on, but come back in here.
Yeah.
Don't be looking like an idiot out there,
You
making
look
us
like
look
a
bad.
pussy.
They're never going to hire this outfit again.
Yeah.
We're all fired.
We're all fired because of you,
They
Ferdinand.
took her jobs.
Ferdinand blew it. Petey Pablo's out there acting a damn fool again.
Yeah, smelling the roses. Come on, bud.
Daggone. Come on, dude, get in here.
Come on, brother.
I bet those animals probably do live a pretty. You were a stable boy, Nick. The animals like that get treated pretty well, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they never have to worry about food as long as you
They're
know
entertaining.
it's a farm by farm basis, but horses usually get treated a lot better than cows do.
Yeah,
But those PBR bulls, those are worth like 100, 200, $300,000. I'm sure they get pampered. They
I
get
think of
whatever.
those. I think of those bulls that they have that do like the Spanish bullfighting. I picture them as like the bulls are like the old days, like the gladiator. You know, they put the best bull in until like, over and over and over until like that one gets killed and they put another one in. You know what I mean?
For the rodeo?
No, for no, not the rodeo.
Okay.
Bullfighting, like it's like the
I think those
Spaniard.
bulls only make it one round because they
Oh,
get
really?
speared and stabbed with swords.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal, dude. I've
Yeah.
watched those back in the
They
day.
kill
That's
those
pretty
bulls.
brutal.
Yeah, they kill those bulls.
They still do shit like that?
Yeah,
Man, I bet people get mad about that shit.
yeah.
Man.
Most of these bulls that do the rodeo and stuff, if they ain't no good, they probably get taken to the slaughterhouse. But if they
They
are
don't
good,
get
they probably get
taken to
retired.
Spain. They get taken to Spain to
Uh,
they get taken to Spain to do one of them shows.
I doubt they're doing that, buddy.
Matador. They're called matadors.
Matador.
Yeah. Ole.
Matador.
Yeah, they got the red flag,
I think I've aged since I started rodeoing.
You do look like you could be an extra on Yellowstone today.
Yeah.
There was people when we were walking around after it was over. There were people worried about Nick. They're like, "What is this guy doing out here?"
You should have painted your face like Gene Simmons. That would have been absolutely hilarious.
Well, we'll let you control the paintbrush next time.
Maybe I will. I'll have to show up though, won't I?
Yeah, I'm gonna wear a backpack and just carry you around the arena with me.
Look at it like a baby arm
Yeah,
on the front though. I want to be in the
On-
front.
on
Where
the
I'm just-
front.
Yep, and I could grab stuff for you, hand it to you.
What Nick, are you gonna do any of these other ones?
Nope, looks like we just lost Nick for a second. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Um, well, I'm gonna try to get him back real quick. But I thought this was funny because y'all got
This is
this.
it.
They got
This
to
is about
see.
31 minutes for you to know.
Okay. Uh, what if? Hold on, let me try to get Nick back real quick. It says he's still. Either way, sure. So they got to. I don't know if you got far enough through this. Whenever shared these with y'all. But does this gal not look just like Haley Welch, like Hawk Tuah?
Yeah, I mean, this picture.
I
Is
mean,
that the gal you're
she
talking about?
sounds like her.
Haley, what's it like being on the Talk to a podcast every week?
Scary.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you for having us at this rodeo. Y'all do this all the time at y'all's house?
Yeah, pretty much. Every once a month.
Yeah.
Here at the
Once
I
a
home.
love it.
month.
We're having a
Yeah,
blast.
she does kind of sound like it.
Yeah. Fine by me podcast.
Y'all should come out next time.
Yeah, come out to
Come
Hope
on out
County.
next time. What are y'all doing at home? Yeah, Lee.
Thanks, Haley.
The whole night, every time I saw her, I was like, man, this looks just like the Hawk Tuah gal. And
Yeah,
I don't know how old that gal is, so that's why I said Talk Tuah instead of Hawk Tuah because that seems a little bit racy.
a little. That's funny. Who knows anymore? You know what I'm saying? I just know I'm old.
What is
That's
Nick?
what I know. That's a fact.
Um, well,
What are you going to add there? Are you
I've
going to add
been
their
trying.
video in?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna throw Melissa in and whatnot right now.
okay.
Um, but hey, welcome back.
Nick has disappeared. We don't know where he
Yeah,
went.
we
He
don't
was
know where
playing
Nick
with the
went.
cat a second ago, and who knows? The cat may have chewed through some cables, or who knows what's going on in his house. They got a animal farm.
Which
Wes had to raise his animals this morning while everybody else left.
yeah, it's true. I did take care of all of his animals, his chickens, and everything else after they left. Um, but I guess fucking hard switching gears real quick. But
Yeah,
Diddy,
man. We're gonna do a flip it over. That's the rodeo section of this podcast. Looks like Diddy
Diddy,
verdict.
Diddy verdict came out today, and he only
Yeah.
got in trouble for prostitution.
Yeah, pretty much. He's just a really big sexual deviant. He's going to do some time. Nobody knows. He could do up to, I think, 20 years. It's two. I could be wrong on this. The last I heard, it was two counts of prostitution, whatever that is. That's a federal charge. So I think you have to do at least 85% of a federal charge before you can like get parole. And they're going to try to run them consecutive. So it'll be 20 years, 85% of 10, 85% of 10 minimum. So what, 17 years, 16 years? Something like
And
that, because they'll probably give him the maximum just because I think of the high level of the case, and it's been 7 weeks, and
I mean,
there's some people upset.
I'm surprised I mean, there were people outside of his court, like throwing a party and like throwing baby oil on each other,
Right.
like after the verdict came through.
It's
And
probably because he didn't get the damn life in prison charge, the RICO charge.
well, I mean, even then, he's 55 years old.
16 years, he'll be in the 70s minimum.
Yeah. Well, like you said,
So
yeah, if he does the 20, he's gonna be 75.
yeah,
Like,
and
he
it's
ain't gonna,
federal charges. So usually, man, we're not legal scholars by no means, but I've seen the movie Blow. I've seen Blow, and I know he got federal charges, and his ass didn't get to get out at all. You know what I mean? It was for weed. This dude was like doing some real shit. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So I know his ass is going to what, Leavenworth or some shit. That's
might be
where,
going to Alligator Alcatraz.
dude. What about that? Concentration camps looking places, man. I don't know. I don't think they'll ever put people there. It's in a hurricane zone. I don't know if it's just maybe like, a lot of times how people do psychological things, and it's like, hey, this looks pretty shitty. You don't want to be here. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, just the pictures I've seen of it, it looks kind of rinky dink in a way. Like, of course, it's still a internment camp. It's got cages. It's prison looking camp. I'm not taking anything away from that, but I don't know. It's hurricane season's about to start. They can't let them people stay down there if a hurricane comes through. They have to evacuate. They evacuate prisons and all sorts of stuff. So, like, it just seems like it would be adding to a problem of moving people. in a
I've never
sense. I
even.
don't know.
I'll be honest. I've not even seen any pictures of it. But yeah,
It
now that
looks like a FEMA tent with bunks in it, and like they're partitioned off with like fencing, like just like baseball fence,
yeah, yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah.
dog kennel.
Chain link.
Yeah, yeah, like a dog kennel, you know. Yeah, like look at that. Like you know what I'm saying? It looks like tents. So like yeah, I guess it's like some kind of holding. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think it's good to treat. I mean, if prisoners are like people that need to be in prison, yes, or whatever. I just don't like people maybe getting treated inhumane. I'm for that in the prison system in general. I don't think people should get treated inhumane ever. Anybody, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I wonder how why that is here because we have like repeat offenders like crazy
Yeah,
here because they get out, don't know how to
right.
act or whatever, and then they just end up back in jail again.
It's a business, just like the military industrial complex.
But
So
like
these
we've got
people,
the places like over in Norway, I think, like their prison system looks like a hotel.
right. Which I don't think it should be like that either. Let's don't get it twisted in that. Like, you know, but I
Yeah,
think
like
it's really
this
like
is what a Norway prison system
right.
like.
But see, you think about that, like that, if you're like a non-violent person, right? Like if you're a violent person, you need to be locked up because you're going to be hurting people. You know what I'm saying? But like if you're like a non-violent, you know, like you got to be able to transition back into life, right? If you get thrown in a cage,
Yeah,
whatever, and you're like having to like fend for your life every day, like what does that prepare you for when you try to come back out in the real world? Like you
yeah.
can't transition. So it, I think a lot of times we don't focus on the rehabilitation of people. We just focus on throwing people away. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
it's
like you
just
said, it's a business. Majority of our prisons here now are for profit,
privately owned. If they're
privately owned,
privately
for
owned,
profit,
yeah.
etc.
Like who let
Which
that happen? Who let that happen? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a president that's at fault for that. I don't know
There's
which
probably
one.
all sorts of yeah, it's a huge deal, I'm sure, but you know, I just don't it's just not a good look. I don't like seeing that kind of stuff in my country, you know? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just me.
I just don't. I don't. It's something I need to look
He
into.
also within a 24-hour period, I think he opened Alligator Alcatraz, something else, and also opened up a cologne line. Did you see he has perfumes and colognes he's coming out
No.
with?
I'm surprised he
Yeah,
didn't
dude.
already have that, to be honest. But I was gonna say it goes back to. I knew it was like pre 1900s where we had the first ones where it was just because people say we've got like we put people there for free slave labor or whatever. It's true to a point, but
Yeah, it's a labor camp.
it was much worse back.
Like the
Like
movie Life. Everybody's seen the movie Life,
I'm
right?
the pappy.
Yeah, like those dudes, like that's how it used to be, man. Like, and I'm sure, you know, like they probably built a lot of the highways. You know what I mean? Like that's how our country has been successful, I think, is we have,
I just watched There Will Be Blood. His
oh,
brother
that's a good
that
one, dude.
his brother that finds him
Yeah,
finds Daniel
yeah,
um after he had so much success or whatever, and then his brother's like, yeah, I got into a bunch of trouble and I ended up building a bunch of railroads, ended up building a bunch of roads in general, like et cetera, et cetera,
yeah,
et cetera. And that was, when oil was first being
right.
like there will be blood's not obviously. I mean, it's sort of historically accurate, but it's not based
Yeah.
on
Well, I mean, it would
anything.
be how life would probably be, but I think it does a good job of showing you just how, like, because we see like the romanticized West. You know, like whenever we think of West, the cowboys and all saloons and poker and all that bullshit, Tombstone, all that bullshit. When really it was very meek. I mean, it was dark. I mean, just like what you see in that movie, dude. It's very desolate. You know, people just trying to scratch out their way of living and stuff. It wasn't like they could just show up and you had all these five shooters and you know playing cards and all this shit. Like there was those people, but I think a lot of people, just normal people, were just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, well, I think it was the main city or township or whatever you want to call it or community, whatever, that Daniel hops upon and he finds that he thinks that there's a bunch of oil there, ends up being a bunch of oil, but his biggest pitch was like, hey, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna pay y'all for the spots that I
Yeah, for these tracts of land.
for these tracts of
These are
land.
poor farming people, poor
Yeah.
people.
but he's like, I'm also going to build you guys roads. I'm going to build
A
uh,
school,
a school.
a town, pretty much.
He helps renovate the church, and then he also like gives tracts of land that he's not
Mhm.
using to farmers and basically shows them how to farm grain so that they can make
Yeah.
bread and etc. You know?
Well, you think it's just like is now. We got this big casino here in my hometown, and you know that in order for them to operate in not only this state but in this city and county, that somebody's getting money. There's money going back to the government for sure. That's
Oh yeah.
funding schools and funding parks and funding other activities for sure. So it's nothing, you know what I mean? Like so you do because you he was smart by doing that, you know, because I'm sure Walmart does that too, in a sense. You know, we have a Walmart here in Franklin, and it creates jobs. You think
Yeah.
about how many people that work there from surrounding areas, people that come to Franklin just to shop at Walmart, but also spend money at restaurants or do other things too. So, you know,
Well,
it,
I mean it's a little probably a big known fact these days, but it's always been a thing. Just people, but people always said it was because they were right off the interstate there. Bowling Green has several gas stations right off the interstate, but it's always been
yeah,
well known that Franklin has cheap gas, cheaper
right,
gas
yeah,
than
exit
surrounding
two,
areas.
exit six, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. Of
I
course,
always wonder
the
why
horse
that
track.
is because
I
it's
don't
not
know.
that far for, I mean, like there's several big town, like I said, Bowling Green being one of them. There's,
I think it may have something to do with us maybe being on the closer to the Tennessee state line and like maybe like a hub is in Nashville. Maybe it's cheaper to transport or something, I
yeah,
don't know.
it
Who
could
knows?
be. I always wondered that though, and I'm sure there's a reason for it. Like you said, somebody's getting paid or some
Oh
kickbacks
yeah.
are getting thrown out there or whatever.
Well, we did have I mean, we've got a couple pretty big oil guys here in town. Key Oil is a big one. So, I mean, maybe he could control prices better, because he was like the actual supplier.
Yeah, yeah.
He passed a few years ago, but he was big. Like he was an actual oil, like he was an oil dude. It was the oil company was named after him. So maybe that's why. I don't know.
I'm an old man.
I'm an oil man selling big oil. You ever seen that episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia whenever they buy up like drums of gasoline whenever gas goes
Yeah,
down? And
yeah,
they're going and they start going door to door selling like gasoline. And they
yeah.
don't even have it like in safe containers. It's in like 55-gallon plastic drums. And they're riding around in this van. Like, I don't know. Do y'all smell something? It's like rotting. It's like melting through the plastic. Shit. And they go and like Charlie Day's dressed up like a cowboy. And
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, what are we doing here? Huh?" He's retarded. I watched Horrible Bosses earlier, and I was like, this dynamic reminds me of us. And like Jason Bateman, Sudeikis, and Charlie Day,
Yeah.
just the dynamic of us three. Because Jason Bateman, he'd be getting fired up and aggravated, like me. Jason Sudeikis' character, he's always like just kind of like chill, just like whatever, like I'm gonna do whatever, it's fine. And then Charlie Day's character just like Nick everywhere, just all the time, just trying to come up with these harebrained schemes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like one scene they walk in, when he hires that guy for doing like wet work or whatever, and he's like he opens the door of the hotel and he has a chain in it, and it's Jason Bateman and Charlie Day and Jason Sudeikis are already in the room. And he opens the door and he just has a chain. And Jason Bateman goes, "What's this?" He goes, "Let me in." He goes, "Did anybody follow you?" He goes, "No, nobody followed me." He goes, "Would you put the chain down?" And he won't put it down. And Jason Bateman reaches his hand through and just starts choking Charlie Day. And he looks back. He goes, "Well, we've already pissed him off." And he finally lets him in the room. Like, man, that's so spot on, so retarded.
Speaking
Wet
of,
work.
I was gonna say, I guess speaking of movies and whatnot, to do another little segue here, well, was talking to you about earlier. I watched Tommy Boy, which
Yeah,
I
Billy
haven't seen in
Madison.
forever, and then I watched Billy Madison. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
started what my dad mentioned he was watching Billy Madison like a week ago. I started it and I never finished it, and then I ended up watching it all the way through. Billy Madison is. We talked about this, but I mean it's such a quotable movie.
Yeah.
It's
Happy
so good.
Gilmore. That and Happy Gilmore come out a year and 6 days apart.
I know. I almost, because you said that, and I almost watched Happy Gilmore, but I was like, I don't know about watching two Adam Sandler things back to back.
Yeah.
So that's why
That's
I
my favorite movie of all time is Happy
switched
Gilmore.
gears and did Tommy Boy or whatever. And man, both of all three of those movies are fantastic. I'll probably end up watching Happy Gilmore in the next few days, especially since
Spade cracks me up, dude. I can relate to Spade so much because he just catches all the shit, dude.
yeah.
Like he just whatever, dude.
Yeah.
He just so snarky that he just and the only time he gets like the only punchlines work are with himself. Like he only gets like to like laugh at like things like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's always like the butt of the joke. It's just funny.
Yeah.
He plays that part really well.
Have y'all, I feel like y'all may have. Have y'all watched Tropic Thunder on Real Fun by
Oh,
Me yet?
no, we have not done
Okay.
Tropic Thunder yet. It's on the wheel. We just haven't got it on there yet.
I
But
I had a hot take for you and probably for Tut because I'm sure he loves that movie too. But I got about halfway through it a week or two ago, and I just thought it wasn't as good as either I remember or I don't know. It didn't keep my attention.
oh man, I think it holds up good for me. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
that I ever was a huge fan of it. I always thought that Robert Downey Jr.'s character was hilarious just for obvious reasons. But
One of my
Jack
funniest.
Black is bad in that movie, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, Jack Black's annoying as hell in that movie, but I think that's on purpose, you know. So that's why it's kind of funny because he's like over the top, like baby star, you know, just you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
that, like
I
really
don't know. I tried to
pampered.
watch it. I didn't even finish it the other day whenever I started it. I'm gonna probably get some hate for that, but it just I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember ever being like a huge fan of it. I know that it's like a big, basically, I guess, cult classic at this point.
I
But
like Danny McBride, the stunt guy,
yeah, he does good.
and
That was one of
and
his
the
early movies.
but the one quote because he like looks up to like Nick Nolte's character, like the guy like this whole story's based on two
Yeah.
hand, you know, and like he comes to like so at the beginning of the movie, he tells Danny McBride or something about his gun, and he goes, "What's that sound like?" And he goes, "The only," he said, "I know the sound of a gun when it's taken another man's life." And he just walks off, and Danny McBride's like, "What?" So like later on in the movie, he finds out this guy's like a whole like charade. Like, you know, he doesn't even have like blown off hands or nothing.
Yeah.
So they're tied to these posts in this like Thai or this South Asian camp, you know, or whatever. And he's like all pissed off at him, and he goes, "Oh yeah," he goes, "Do you know that sound? Do you know the sound of it's like when another man lies?" And he's like, just shakes his head, and I just think it's hilarious, man, because like that, and then Ben Stiller trying to cry with Robert Downey Jr., and he's like, "Come on, man, you gonna just shed a tear, man?" And he stays in character the whole time,
Yeah. Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
He does do a really good
And then
job. I
they can
almost
make
wish
that
they
movie
would
now.
do like race swap and stuff like that these days. Because I mean, we had that, which was, I guess, a bigger deal than White Chicks was, just because it was the opposite way. But like
White
those,
Chicks is another
White
one's
Chicks was
pretty
also hilarious. The
hilarious.
Wayans
What a
brothers,
handsome chocolate man.
the Wayans brothers are just so good in general. Like, I mean, and
Yeah, man.
they were so good in uh, Scary Movie.
Yeah, they're coming out with a new one.
Oh God,
The
what
Wayans
was it? The
brothers.
10th one?
Oh, they didn't make like after the third one, they quit making them. Like they weren't part of it.
Oh,
And
okay.
so like this is gonna be like I guess maybe like a scary movie overall or something. I don't know. But they are gonna make one. My
Huh.
allergies are so bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My eyes are on
I
fire.
wouldn't mind seeing another one with the Wayans brothers in them. Those were so funny.
It'd be cool if they brought
be
back
honest, it probably was the first three that I remember watching that I
they're the
was like,
best
these are all
ones.
good. And then I
Then
think
they
you got to the
suck.
fourth one was whenever I was like, all right, well, maybe I won't watch. I don't even know how many of them I've seen at this point. I know I've seen the first three.
Well, Marlon made after those, he made those haunted house movies, Haunted House and Haunted House 2, and those are pretty funny. Like he
Yeah.
gets fucked by the ghost and shit, and he's like, I don't know what happened here last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's
Well,
funny.
oh, the only other thing we were talking the other day about, or earlier about, going over that dang concrete barrier thing. As we were leaving, like it was the last time I'd ever had to jump over this dang thing, but it had gotten late. It was real dewy and humid and whatnot outside, and the
Yeah.
grass was super wet. Well, I jumped over this dang barrier so many times at this point that I was just willy-nilly jumping over it, man. I jumped over it that last time and just took another tumble, and I got my
Damn, dude, you get hurt everywhere you go.
yeah.
You got to watch this guy.
No, I
Jeez.
laid there. There was a whole another like behind where we were all sitting that y'all didn't really probably get to see in any of the videos, but there were like bleachers of people on our side as well. So I took that spill, and there was a whole bleacher full of people, and I just laid there for a minute. I was like, I can't believe
God.
that I can't go anywhere without freaking falling down anymore.
We're gonna have to get you a damn life alert button. Help! I've fallen and I can't get
Luckily, I was
up.
fine. Melissa was there. She's a medic.
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, hey, I'm bleeding a lot.
You gotta stitch you up, doctor
Yeah,
you
we
up.
we I honestly did. I just poured water on it and just I was like, all right, I'm hungry. Let's go get this corn dog.
Heard that, dude. Nothing better than a fair, some good old fair fried food.
I know. I wish I would have been hungrier while we were there because they had all the big booths, funnel cakes,
Funnel cakes, gotta get a funnel cake, dude. Funnel cakes are so good.
fried Oreos, fried Snickers. They had all of that there, and I just was not. It was so hot, and like I'd been doing so much, like me and Melissa did most of it, but like blowing up these little bats for Nick's thing with the kid,
Oh yeah.
and then putting together he handed out a bunch of what do you call it when you snap it, like glow
Oh,
sticks,
the glow sticks, yeah.
like glow stick bracelets.
Oh yeah.
Like so, me and Melissa put a bunch of those together for him while he was out there, and he handed them out to a bunch of kids. By God, we got late into the night, and I wasn't in the booth anymore. I was like down just next to the cage, and I could he had a wireless mic,
Yeah.
and every now and then he would say something. I'm like, where the heck is this guy even at? Like, he wasn't in the ring anymore. He was like
Just
up in the
walking around.
stands.
God. Who knows? This guy could make, dude, never met a stranger. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm like not a like I'm not a shy person, but like I don't, I don't like crowds and stuff. So
yeah.
like just for him, he's like kryptonite to like somebody that I don't want to be around people, dude. You're like, geez, this guy has done never been here before, didn't even know where this place was at. He's done come out here and made friends with everybody out here
Oh,
raising kids.
it was because that was whenever I leaned over to Melissa and I was like, where is this guy even at? And 1 second he was in the crowd saying, do y'all still do like what the baby pageants or something? This is a beautiful baby. Like
What?
and then the next thing I know, he's like on top of like the highest you could get on the outside cages and did some kind of like swan dive off of it. And I was like, what is this
I
guy
wish we had the soundbite of him saying, "Do y'all even do y'all still do baby pageants?
It was out
This
of
is a beautiful
nowhere
baby."
too.
That would
Like
be
he hadn't
just
said
something else.
anything in like
God,
20 or
what a
30
beautiful
seconds.
baby. He's very endearing, that's for sure. Golly, I love him. Well, I
All
think it's been
right,
an
well,
episode, Wes.
yeah, I think we can close this one out. I tried to call Nick. I don't know what happened to him.
I texted him. He didn't answer me back either.
I'm guessing his phone died or something.
100%.
Every bit of like the pod equipment is in his truck because we didn't get it out last night since we got there so late. So he roughed it
Yeah.
today with just a phone basically. So
He was in also half of the clips or half of the episode in clips anyway. So
yeah. I'll be splicing all that together. But
we
all
had a
right.
little news sidebar after.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Next week we're back in the studio, back in the library next week, all of us.
Back in
Excited
the
about that.
library, and next week
The
is
100th
episode
episode.
1.
0, 0. Got some special guests,
Yeah,
maybe. So stay
maybe.
tuned for that. Thank y'all for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Bada boom, bada bang. This
Love
has
y'all.
been
Take it easy, guys.
Fine
Bye.
by
Bye.
Me. See y'all.
Love y'all.
West Coast,